The Workato Identity Developer API gives you full programmatic control over how Workato end users are provisioned into your environment. And one of the most powerful things it enables is pre-establishing the connection between a user's Workato identity and their Slack or Teams account before they ever log in. Here's why that matters. When a new user is created in Workato, their Workato identity and their Slack or Teams account are two separate things. The connection between them has to be established. Until it is, any recipe that tries to reach that user proactively, perhaps an approval request, an onboarding prompt, or simply a Genie notification, has nowhere to deliver it. Normally, a user is prompted to authenticate when they first interact with Genie. This is when they will be prompted to create and sign into their Workato identity account. But with the Identity API, we can establish that connection programmatically before the user ever opens a conversation. Pre-creating that app link at provisioning time means your users are reachable from day one. A Genie can message them, workflows can target them, and they can interact without any authentication friction before they've ever opened the platform. We'll start by walking through the full provisioning flow directly in Postman, so you can see exactly what each API call looks like and what it returns. This collection works from anywhere: a script, a pipeline, an HRIS integration, and if you'd prefer to keep everything inside Workato, we'll also show you how to wire the same flow in a recipe function, a clean alternative that fits directly into any automation you're already building on the platform. Let's get into it. We start inside the Workato platform, navigate to Workspace Admin, then API Clients. Before we create the API client itself, we need to configure the role it will use. Click into Client Roles, then click Add New Client Role. What we are looking at here is a permission template. Rather than scoping permissions on every individual client, you define a role once and assign it to as many clients as you need. Give this role a suitable name. Now we need to select the right permissions. Click Admin, then scroll down to the Workspace Details section. Enable Workspace Details, and enable IAM, which stands for Identity and Access Management. IAM provisioning access is what allows this client to create users, manage group membership, and handle app link assignments. The three things our recipe is going to do. Enable both and save your changes. Head back to the client homepage and click Create New API Client. Give it a descriptive name, something that makes it immediately clear this client is used for user provisioning. Select the client role we just created and set the environment to dev. This is important. IAM endpoints are only accessible under a dev scoped environment. If you set this to a different environment, the provisioning calls will not work. At the bottom of the creation screen, you will see the endpoint access preview, which confirms exactly which API endpoints this client is authorized to call. Take a moment to verify that looks right, then click Create Client. Workato generates your API token. Copy it to your clipboard now and store it somewhere safe, as this token is only shown once. Now let's walk through the full provisioning flow directly in Postman. This is useful whether you want to understand what each call returns, or because you plan to call these endpoints from outside Workato entirely. A CI pipeline, an HRIS system, an internal script. Everything here is fully portable and works independently of the platform. Create a new collection and give it a suitable name, something like Workato Identity IAM Testing. Before we make any calls, let's set up authentication at the collection level so we don't have to paste the token into every request manually. Go to the Authorization tab, set the auth type to bearer token, and paste your token into the box. Now every request in this collection will inherit that authentication automatically. Open the Workato documentation and navigate to the Workato Identity IAM page. Find the Get endpoint for listing identity users. Then, copy the sample call request. Now import the call command into that collection. Postman parses it automatically and populates the method, URL, and any default headers for you. Since we are just fetching a list of the users, there is no request body. Now, send the request. The JSON response comes back with all of your created Workato identity users. The endpoint is live, and the token is working. Before creating any users, let's set up the group they'll belong to. Find the post endpoint for creating a new user group. Like before, copy the sample call request and import it into that same collection. The request body takes a group name, and so here I'm going to write product management. Now, send the request. The response comes back with a group ID. It's what we'll use to assign our new user to this group in the next call. You can also confirm the group appeared under Workspace Admin, Authentication and Groups, and Development. Now that the group exists, let's connect it to a Genie. Head to your Genie, go to End User Access, and add the group we just created, Product Management. From this point on, any user added to this group is automatically permitted to interact with that Genie. No further configuration needed inside the Genie itself. The group membership is what controls access. One thing worth noting, I've connected my Genie to use Slack as the chat interface, which is why you'll see it appear there later in the video. If you'd like a full walkthrough of how to set up and configure a Genie from scratch, including choosing your chat interface, check out our dedicated Genie setup and configuration guide in Workato Docs. With the group in place, we can now create our first identity user and assign them to it in a single call. Find the post endpoint for creating a new identity user. Copy the call request and import it into the same collection. Before we do anything else, head back to the previous request and copy the group ID from the response. We'll need that in a moment. Now open the new request. There are a few fields to fill in here: the user's name, their email address, and the group ID from the previous response. That group ID is what ties this user to the product management group we just created. So when the user is provisioned, they land in the right place automatically. For now, use a synthetic test user called test user with a placeholder email address. Now, send the request. The response comes back with a user ID. This is the unique identifier Workato assigns to the identity user, and it's what connects everything in the next steps. To see this reflected in the platform, head to Workspace Admin, then End Users. Test user should appear in the list. Click into the user and you'll be able to confirm they've been assigned to the product management group, exactly as expected from the group ID we passed in the request body. Here's a Genie with Slack configured as its interface. Without an app link, a new user's first interaction triggers an authentication prompt, and proactive automations can't reach them until that link exists. With the user created and assigned to the group, the final provisioning step is establishing their Slack app link. This is what makes them reachable from day one. Find the post endpoint for creating an app link. Once again, copy the call request and import it. The request body takes three things: your Slack team ID. For this, open your workspace in a browser and copy the code beginning with T from the URL. The Slack user ID of the person you're linking is found under your Slack profile. Then, copy member ID. Although, in practice, you wouldn't look these up manually, Workato has a native Slack action that takes an email address and returns the corresponding user ID programmatically. So this step fits cleanly into any automated flow. And the Workato user ID is from the previous response that created the identity. Once all three values have been filled, send the request. In the response, look at the state field. Linked means the connection is fully established. Back in Slack, the same user messages the Genie and it responds directly. No authentication prompt. Let's fire a test business event targeted at the email we just created. The notification arrives immediately because the app link was already in place at the provisioning time. That's the value here. New users are reachable from day one without any action on their end. A given Slack user holds one active Slack app link at a time, but a single Workato identity user can be attached to multiple apps, such as Teams and Workato Go, each with their own app link. So before provisioning for real, go ahead and delete this test link to start clean. Find the delete endpoint for app links, copy the curl request, and import it into the collection. Then paste the app link ID from the previous response and send. You'll get data null back, confirming the deletion. Similar to deleting app links, here is the endpoint to delete an end user. And here is the endpoint to delete a user group. The setup is the same. For those who prefer to keep everything inside the platform, here's how the same flow looks as a Workato recipe. The API calls are identical. The difference is that inside Workato, this becomes a callable function, with data pills automatically connecting the output of each step to the inputs of the text. First, open your onboarding folder. This is where everything for this walkthrough will live. Inside that folder, create a new connection. Search for HTTP and select it. Give the collection a name, such as Workato Developer API, IAM. Set the authentication type to header auth, then expand the header authorization tab. Click to add a header. The key is authorization, and the value is bearer, followed by your API token, the same one we tested in Postman. For the base URL, refer to the Workato documentation and use the endpoint that corresponds to your region. Now, save the connection. Workato confirms it is live, and we are ready to build the recipe. Create a new recipe inside the onboarding project and name it something like function onboard user. For the trigger, select recipe function. A recipe function doesn't run on a schedule, and it isn't waiting for an event from an external system. It exposes a callable endpoint that any other recipe on the platform can invoke directly, which is what makes this pattern so useful in practice. Think about what a real onboarding automation typically looks like. You have a recipe connected to your HR system, perhaps Workday, Bamboo HR, whatever you're running, and it fires the moment a new employee record is created. That recipe might already be handling a dozen downstream steps, creating accounts, sending welcome emails, assigning equipment. This function slots into that flow as a single additional step. One call from the parent recipe, and the entire Workato identity provisioning chain runs automatically. User created, group assigned, app link established, without that parent recipe needing to know anything about how any of it works under the hood. That's the composability this pattern gives you. You build provisioning logic once, in one place, and any automation that needs it just calls the function. If the provisioning logic ever changes, a new group, a different app link flow, Teams instead of Slack, you update it in one recipe, and every upstream automation that calls it gets the new behavior automatically. Define 4 input parameters in the parameter schema: full name, email, group name, and Slack UID. Now, add a result schema with a single field called response. Next, add an HTTP action using the connection we created. Name it something like create new user group. Using the Workato documentation we looked at earlier, we know this is a post request to IAM/user groups. Set the method, enter the path, and paste in the request body from the docs, swapping the group name placeholder for the group name data pill from your recipe function trigger. For the response schema, click Use JSON and paste in the documentation sample response. Then, click Generate Schema. The group ID from this step becomes available as a data pill for the next action. Add another HTTP action. Name it something like Create New User Identity. From the documentation, this is a post to IAM/users. Set the method, enter the path, and paste in the request body from the docs, swapping the name and email placeholders for the full name and email data pills from your recipe function trigger, and the group ID field from the group ID data pill from Action 1's output. This ties the new user directly to the group we just created in a single step. For the response schema, click Use JSON and paste in the documentation sample request again. Click Generate Schema. Now the user ID becomes available as a data pill for all subsequent actions. Add another HTTP action and name it Create App Link, Slack. From the docs, this is a post request. Paste in the relative URL, which is IAM/applinks, and the request body. Fill in the 3 fields: Slack team ID, your workspace T code from the browser URL, Slack user ID, this time using the Slack UID data pill from your recipe function input. It's worth noting, if you don't have the Slack user ID on hand, it's possible to retrieve it programmatically using a Slack action that takes an email address and returns the corresponding user ID. Finally, the Workato user ID, which is simply the ID data pill from action output. For the response schema, paste in the documentation sample and click Generate Schema. The state field in the output confirms the app link is established. In the return response action, build a confirmation string using data pills. Something like new user onboarded using the full name and email data pills. App link state, grabbing the state, then user ID. Now go ahead and save the recipe. Now let's see this function in action. Click Test Recipe, then fill in the input fields with synthetic values. I'll enter test user as the name, test@mail.com as the email address, product management as the group, and pull in my own personal Slack user ID. Hit the test button and we can see the return result. A new user has been created with a pre-configured app link already in place. The last step is to connect this to the Genie. Head to your Genie, go to End Users, and select the newly created product management group. From this point on, any user inside that group can interact with the Genie directly through Slack. So here's what we've covered. The Workato Identity Developer API gives you programmatic control over user provisioning, creating groups, creating users, and pre-establishing Slack or Teams app links at scale, without any manual action from the end user.